Oh, hello. Hey guys, it's just past 6 in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. I'm from Illinois, not Chicago though. I think if you're from Illinois, what's the percent chance that you're from Chicago? It's got to be like 70 that you're at least from the Chicago area. Yo yo yo. Hey from the UK. Hey from Georgia. Yeah, everyone, I usually if I remember to ask this, sometimes we don't do this in the live streams, but sometimes we do, to shout out where you're from. Usually do it a little bit later once we have a little bit more people in. But yeah, where's everybody watching from? I saw Philippines. What else in here? New Mexico. New Mexico is a beautiful state. I've been there a couple times years ago. 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. Gotta be almost 20 years ago now. But yeah, I would love to go back to New Mexico as soon as I get a chance. Let's see. Wisconsin, Green Bay, Maryland, California, Oklahoma, Florida, North Carolina, Delaware, Boston. What's going on? Birmingham, Malaysia, Seattle, Germany, San Antonio. I was about to say San Diego. That's San Antonio. And New Zealand, Brooklyn. Let's see, Canada, SoCal, Italy, Tennessee, UK midnight. Oh yeah, it's late for you guys in there in the UK. From Wisconsin. Let's see what I say. When I was got into Gunpla when I was 12, and now I'm 20 in college. Your channel got me back into Gunpla. I couldn't be happier. Thanks for this. You're welcome, Reed. That's cool. Poland over there. Adam on Twitch, and Peru, Kiro Pixel, and Jeff, New Hampshire on Facebook. Phoenix, Australia, Texas. A couple of y'all Australians chiming in there at the same time. Hello, Vina del Mar, Chile. Hey, I miss Chile. I was hoping to go back to Chile again this year, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, man, it was fun in Chile. Had a really good time there. Hopefully next year, maybe, or something, I guess. Hopefully again in future. I'd love to go back. Please go back to the Philippines, Zach, and visit Davao. Yeah, I'd love to go back to the Philippines as well, too. Rodri, yeah. Philippines was good. I wonder, like, those of you guys watching from the Philippines, I wonder if, has it kind of like calmed down a little bit there in the Philippines? Like, when I was there, it was kind of like, maybe less than a year. It was like pretty shortly after kind of Duterte became the president. And so it was still kind of a little bit crazy. There was still kind of a lot of crazy stuff going on there at the time. So I was a bit nervous going to the Philippines at that time. But I haven't, I mean, maybe it's just not been in the news. That could very well be, things in the news have a very short lifespan. So I don't know if it's like kind of settled down there a little bit in the Philippines recently, or maybe not, but just curious. Mike Shell saying, let's get them likes going. Thank you, Mike. Always looking out. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's get this build going. Delete Titan said it's still crazy. Oops. Alright, well. When are you moving to the US? House of Pain said, we're moving to the US towards the end of the year, probably like around November, so it's still a little while yet. Sir Tom said, yeah, still crazy, so okay. Alright, well, yeah, maybe it's just not in the news. That's understandable. One thing that I noticed. Hey, Deanjo, what's going on? Time to put bets on the stream time. Calling 3 hours. Yeah, there's kind of a lot here, but I don't think it's gonna take all that long. I I'd say it's gonna be less than 3 hours, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I end up playing around with it. But I mean, it's got no legs. The skirt armor has a ton of parts, so I mean, I guess it's kind of ultimately around the same number of parts as if it did have legs, I guess, or similar. So it's not too different. But appreciate the super chat as always, Dianjo. Happy late first of the month. Thank you, Migu. Also, happy birthday to my dad. It's my dad's birthday. I'm sure he's not watching. Sometimes he does. He might watch it later. So, Dad, if you're watching later, happy birthday. But he had shoulder surgery last week. Yeah, just almost a week ago. So he's been just kind of on the mends from that. So hope he's feeling better. I just talked to them yesterday, and we'll call again later today. But yeah, yes, this is happy birthday. My dad, who Papazaku. There you go. That's what you could say. Yes. All right. Got to experience Gunpla vicariously through my MG Wing Zero. Till my Wing Zero of our car comes in. All right, there you go. CP Stevens. Yeah, that's what we're here for. So that you guys, if you've got nothing to build, or if you have something to build, it's a good time to build along, just at the same time, just kind of hang out. Or, there we go. Okay, I thought I put that part on wrong, and I didn't. I kind of did, but I didn't at the same time manage to get it right. Yeah, or if you don't have something to build along at the same time, it's a good chance to do exactly that. You live vicariously. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty awesome build. So yesterday, it was kind of like a mad dash to get this ready because I just got this in. Let's see, today is Thursday. I got this in just like Tuesday afternoon. So yesterday, I did the unboxing. This feels kind of like loose in there. I guess that's right. Did the unboxing and then just getting all the parts ready and everything. Took a while. Let's see. Took, I don't know, 3 hours, I guess maybe, to get all the parts cut out and ready and everything. So not too bad. That's pretty standard. Probably like some master grades or something will probably take a little bit more than that. That's why that part was feeling loose. There's another piece on the bottom that I hadn't put on there yet. Yeah, some like master grade kits or something like that would take a little bit longer to prepare. Obviously, perfect grade's much longer, but 3 hours for something like this is about what I would expect. Makes sense. I'm still raging over Bandai not reissuing the Age 1 normals. Hello everyone, Azura Slime King, hello. Did you see the new RG wing images? Those MS joints in the wing base is worrying. Yes, Ricky B, I did see those images. Did you not see the new Zaku News video on the USA Gundam TV channel? Because I used those images and talked about them. I didn't mention about the MS joint in the wings, but yes, I used those images and talked about them in the new video over there on that channel, news video that I did just a couple days ago. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I think it'll probably be fine. Like, what was that just came out recently that people were worried about the stability? What was that? Some kid that just came out not too long ago. People were really worried about the stability of it, but it ended up not being a problem at all. What was that? Was it the Wing Verka? Or the PG something? I just remember that being a topic that I talked about recently on some kit. Yeah. It was the PG. Yeah, because the PG was using the insert molded parts, like RG style, for the frame parts of the PG, and people were really worried about that, and it wasn't a problem at all. It's totally solid. So yeah, I think, those insert molded parts were a problem at one time, or they could be a problem at one time, but anymore I think they've got it figured out, so I don't necessarily worry too much about that. I've got faith in Bandai. On the PG, they were fine. On all the recent RG kits, they've been fine. So I don't think there's anything to really worry about. It's all good. Yes, the PG unleashed. So, how's everybody doing today? Let's see. Shout out to Louisiana. Yes, hello. Good evening from Toronto. Hello. Let's see. Good evening in California. Hello. Yeah, this kit I'm pretty excited for, to be honest, and like especially getting all the parts and everything prepared. I'm not a big Zeong fan in general, but this one, I mean, this really seems like Bandai really pulled it off, taking a design that's kind of goofy and making it into a pretty badass kit. So, oh, and someone asked, I think, on Instagram, but obviously I'll just clarify for you guys watching here live. This is not the like the DX version. It's not the version that comes with all the effect parts and stuff. I just didn't care to get that version, to be honest. I didn't really want to bother with the effect parts. I don't really care about that personally, so it just wasn't a big deal for me. And I don't have a RG RX-782 and didn't care to. I feel like if I was gonna show the effect parts, I kind of needed to show them with a RG RX-782. And if I didn't have an RG RX-782, it feels like kind of like, what's the point of the effect parts? Because that's kind of a big part of it, right? You have to be able to do the last shot, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's got the eye movement like the Master Grade Zaku 2.0, where you turn the head and the mono eye turns along with that. So I'm turning the neck here. So that turns along with that like that. Interesting how on the bottom of the neck, that's, oh yeah. I would think they would have made this so that like it's a 3mm hole, so you can put it up on a base to have the head flying on its own, but it's definitely larger. It's like 5mm. So that's weird. Oh shit. I have underneath my table here, I have like a little, there's a heater up there, but then like for my feet are always like still cold. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. So it's something my wife bought for me for Christmas, was just like a little space heater. And so I just use that like down under the table for my feet. And sometimes like I'm just not paying attention and I'll like stretch out my legs or something, or if I put my feet anywhere near it, like it starts to like heat the rubber on my shoes. So sometimes I'll like be not paying attention, I have my legs stretched out, and then I start, so what's that burning rubber smell? Like, oh shit, my feet are next to the space heater. That's why. Could have noticed that it was like hot, because it's not like that hot that I would notice the heat, but it's always the smell that I notice before I notice the heat. Anyway, be careful. That's cool. Oh, we were supposed to add the dome parts. I hadn't done that yet, but don't think it really matters too much. Just that goes on there. That goes on there. Yeah. Certainly one of the just weirdest parts of the Zeong is just the head. I mean, the body in general, I mean, it's not that weird, I feel like. The head is especially strange. As always, guys, though, if you do have any questions, about the build or just questions for me, whatever along the way, make it easier for me by putting your questions, tagging me in your comment there, so I can see that a little bit more easier. That would be very appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, and the whole antlers on the head and everything. It's strange. There's a really large effect part that you can get only in the last shooting kit. I'm sure you can recreate those, right? Sir Tommy, I guess, yeah, you could. I guess if you really wanted to recreate that pose, then I would probably recommend just go ahead and get the set rather than trying to recreate that. I realized I forgot to put the sticker on the eye. Just go ahead and do that, because once the clear part is on there, it's really hard to see that eye in there, because it's like a clear part just under a clear part. So at least that'll make it a little bit easier to see in there. I did want to try to put the stickers, at least some of these stickers on, so I had to pay attention to what I'm doing in the manual for the ones that go on the inner frame and stuff. So I'm probably going to end up just going past them without thinking about it. When does the RG Mark 6 come out? I think that said June. Yeah, I think June. Let's see. With all the new kits coming out, what's still on your wish list from Bandai? You mean like what? I mean a lot of stuff. Could get some blast effects from the figure arts effect part. Yes, boom cannon, that's true. Yeah, some of the effect parts I've heard are the same. It's the same ones that you get with the figure eyes effect part set. So some of them you can get even without that special set. Yeah. You know if the container for January back orders was delayed from USA Gundam Store? I'm not sure, but we'll have a live episode, I think, tomorrow on the USA Gundam TV channel, so you can ask your question there. Adam would know that. I haven't heard about that. Did you get a Judge kit from USA Gundam? I got a Judge kit, but not from USA Gundam. I got it just from a different source earlier, before we were going to get them. At first, we were not gonna. Not that we weren't wanting to, but we weren't able to carry those at first. It was only later, after I already got mine from a different source, that we were able to secure some for USA Gundam Store. But I'm pretty sure those are not like existing ones. They're ones in a next batch. I think they're doing a second batch of those kits because it's been very popular. I'm building the RG Wing Gundam EW to kit bash with the new one when that comes out. Yep. Good idea. That could be cool. Get the RG Gundam later. Did not record that live. I won't be getting the RG Gundam. Do you like the full mechanics Barbatos Lupus Rex? Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. I hope they ship both of mine soon. I need RG in my life. Ghost Monkey. Oh yeah, Ghost Monkey. You were. I replied to you on Instagram, didn't I? Did you reply back? I hadn't seen that because I was just busy getting ready. I'm not sure. I hadn't seen if you replied back, but I asked you where you ordered yours from. Let's see. What's your favorite HGIBO kit? Robert asked. Maybe it'd have to be just like one of the Grazes, probably, just because they're so fun. Or the Grimgird is really cool as well too. Or like the Regenlays. Maybe. One of those, like Graze Custom. One of those. Ryusei Go. One of those. I like those more than the Gundams usually. I missed the reason why, or if you said so, why you're moving back to America. The reason we're moving back to America is mostly just for our kids to go to school in America and grow up as native English speakers. Like, they can speak English now just like from me, and we speak English a lot at home. Are you getting the 10th anniversary Converge set, Ricky B? Is that Converge set that I think it's like just released, right? there was the Zeong and a couple other ones in there. There's like 4 different mobile suits in there. Then, if that's what you're talking about, the answer is yes. If you're talking about something else, I'm not sure what you're talking about then. Ghost Monkey said, you ordered yours from USA Gundam Store. Well, USA Gundam Store doesn't have the kit yet. So if you ordered this kit from USA Gundam Store, yes, as soon as they get them, they'll be sending them out to you. Mine doesn't actually come directly from USA Gundam Store. If that's what you're thinking, that like somehow they got the kit and sent me mine first. That's not the case. That would mean the kit would have to go from Japan to Florida and then back to me in Korea. Kind of doesn't really make sense to do it that way. So I just get the kits from a source local here in Korea. Does USA Gundam Store ship internationally? Yes, we do, but I think right now it's very limited because with COVID, there's so many different shipping restrictions going on, and I think Adam talked about this in the last live stream that we did, the last one or the one before that. So again, guys, I would just recommend you to check out the USA Gundam TV channel. We answer a lot of these questions and stuff there. Every 2 weeks we do basically like Q&A videos, and Adam answers all your guys' questions. So yeah, he was asked that recently, and shipping internationally is just such a mess right now. Some countries you can, some countries you can, some countries you can only send to certain cities, some countries you can only send, you know, certain type packages or certain types of shipping, and so it's kind of a mess. So it's very limited at the moment, but depends on where you live. Are you going to review the RG Ava weapon and stand kits? What? RG Ava weapon and stand kits? I don't know, what is that a thing? Are you talking about like the third-party ones, not like the Bandai ones? Robert's asking about that. Perfect Zeong expansion set, P Bandai or full kit. I'm gonna say the Perfect Zeong is probably gonna come out, if they make it, it's probably gonna come out as a full kit, and it's gonna be P Bandai, of course. But yeah, I think that'll be a full kit, not an expansion set. Or they might do it where like you can buy it either or. You can buy it as just the expansion set or as the full kit, maybe. Grimgird was my first kit and one of my favorites, as our Slime King said. Yeah, Grimgird is a great kit. Either version, the 100 scale version is nice as well too. Let's see. Did you ever build a Daban model? I've built, yeah, I think just the one Daban model was the PG red frame long time ago. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's fine, but the Bandai version doesn't cost that much. It's one of the cheaper perfect grade kits anyway, so. Do you like the MJH Barbatos 6 form? I don't know if you reviewed it yet. What's the MJH Barbatos 6 form? Is that like a resin conversion kit or something? I'm not aware of what that is. I got the 1980 gun cannon kit in today. I love those old vintage kits. Do you? And if so, do you have a favorite? No, I don't have a favorite, and I've actually never like really like full-on built one. I need to though. It's something I've been wanting to do. It's like actually do a project of that. An old 80s kit. Yes, I need to do that. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen lots of cool builds of those old kits. So yeah, certainly the potential is there to do something cool with them. Gunpla Gate GTV, 안녕하세요. Alright, there's our neck. Getting back to the build here for a moment. You guys can still ask some questions. It's a high-res model. Oh, okay. Sorry, the high-res Barbatos. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like the look of the high-res Barbatos. It has some cool features, but don't expect I'll ever buy one. Thinking of getting this kit, should I space rat? I would say yes. Having, you know, only kind of just started building it. Yeah, why not? Huh? That's strange. How does this go together? Like that? Yeah. Could be that one. And this one goes here. Okay. Thankfully they have this nice diagram here to show you, because that was a kind of odd placement of that, but there we go. Just checking, make sure that my placement is right on that. And 3, put the neck part up in here. 4, put this part on this side. And 5. There we go. So there's our torso frame coming together. Where the hands a pain to cut and sand? Well, I haven't sanded them a whole lot yet, but yes, I imagine they would be, because the gates on the hands are all like between tiny little details on the fingers, so I have a feeling probably a lot of people are going to end up just sanding those details away on the top of the fingers, because it's just kind of sanding like the mold line and the gates around those tiny little bits of detail. It's going to be pretty tricky. Sigmate or Sigmate or Matt. Wait, they made an RG of this? Yo, epic. Yeah. Been living under a rock for a while. Sorry, I'm not tagging properly. Oh yeah, sorry if you were asking a question, I hadn't seen it, sorry. I was looking away for a moment too. Just joining, what are we doing? Mothman. We're building this here, Zeong. What are you doing? Let's see, number 1. Need to move this down, I guess, like that. 2. This one. To try to pay attention, because this. Make sure I'm not putting something on wrong here. 3 and 4. The other thing that I'm really going to try to pay attention to was, once we get to the skirt parts, I want to pay attention to if it looks like the skirt goes together in a way that it's made with the intention of being able to put on legs later. So I'll definitely be paying attention to that, and I'll let you guys know about that once we get to the skirt part. If it looks like it's made in a way, because it should be pretty easy to tell. It looks like it's made in a way to be able to put legs on it later instead of the skirt parts. We'll see. Probably answered this, but sometimes earlier. What is your favorite kit? I've not answered that really, not necessarily, because I don't really have one. When people ask, I just kind of don't really have a good answer for them, because I just don't really have a favorite kit. Is it pronounced Zong or Zeong? Zeong, like Zeon, but just with a G on the end. Arvs, hey. Let's see here. That part on there. So pretty easy, I think, for this part of the build. But it's once we get to like the chest part, it's going to be a little more tricky just because of the way that I cut out all the parts. We'll see if it's very difficult to identify which ones go where, because I'm feeling it might be. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. But the chest parts are like kind of specific, like left side, right side, front, back. But obviously I've just got them kind of all mixed together, so let's see, that goes back. This one goes on the front. And like that. Off topic, but I'm curious, do you sell your build and reviewed kits? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'll have a culling of just some kits that like I've built and reviewed, and I know I'm just never going to get around to working on painting them ever. I mean, probably most of them I'm never going to get around to painting, but you know, in my mind I'm at least still hopeful, like I would like to paint them someday, but there's some that I feel like just I'm never going to want to paint it, so yeah, sometimes I'll just sell some of those off. And usually when I do it, it's like for practically nothing. It's mostly just for the cost of shipping. Yeah, painted builds, I mostly I sell those. Those are either sold or given away as gifts to certain people, friends or something. Or sold, yeah. Adam's here. What's going on, Adam? Good morning or evening there. We're usually talking on opposite times. And yeah, Adam and I, just another reminder to you guys, will be live on the USA Gundam TV channel tomorrow night. Friday morning for those of you guys in the US. It's Friday evening for me. The Zeong is a big mobile suit, so the PG must be really big. Yes, Travis, a PG would be quite large. Hey, Zaka, do you think we will get a real grade perfect Zeong? Yes, I think that's very likely. Let's see, Alejandro said, do you think the Banshee Unicorn is a good choice for my first PG? Yeah, not bad. I mean, the PG Unicorn looks great, and especially with the LEDs, looks really cool. Can't really do a whole lot though, it's very heavy. So like you got the really cool Beam Magnum with the revolving launcher and everything like that, but it can't even really like hold it up, it's just too heavy. So that's kind of the double-edged sword of the PG Unicorn. Really wonder why they still have not made a mega size Banshee based on the mega size Unicorn. It's just kind of a shame they only ever made just the one kit. You know, usually people give Bandai a hard time for making too many Unicorn variants, but with the mega size they haven't made any variants at all. Do you think we might get a RG Cubile? Yeah, Gundam drawing, that's RG Cubile. I could definitely see that happening someday. Yeah, it's a popular design. I think it would make for a cool RG. Yeah. Adam, build so far is pretty cool, pretty simple. You know, it's been kind of keeping a tradition of the recent RGs where, you know, they're complicated, as in like there's a good number of parts in there, but the construction's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I do have a question for you. Are a Zeon sympathizer or a fed dog? I'm neither, because that's a fictional universe that has no impact on my real life, so I don't really spend too much time thinking about that type of question, to be honest. But I don't know. I think the point of the series is to show that there's it's up for debate. There's not a clear wrong side. I think that's kind of the whole point of the show. If I don't know, or sorry, Boomcast, I don't know if I should point this out, but do you know that on the USA Gundam Store, that the YouTube link needs your personal channel rather than the store's channel? On the USA Gundam Store, the YouTube link leads to your personal channel. Oh, what? Let me see. You mean on Facebook? Boomcan, are you talking about on Facebook? On the actual website? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. On the USA Gundam Store website? I'm not sure what you're talking about, sorry. Clarify, please. Here's the cockpit hatch, though, by the way. That's cool. No actual, like, not much of a cockpit there. It's just kind of a thing in there. There's a little bit of detail, but not too much of a cockpit to speak of. You could cut that out a little bit more to make some more of a cockpit in there. Do you think that you will get a RG anime accurate wing Gundam or the RG Hainu Gundam? Oh, we will be getting the Hainu. That's already been announced. We know that's coming later this year. An anime accurate wing Gundam, though, probably not. I mean, they'll make this new. They're making the new TV version. Instead of the TV version, wing Gundam, it's still not accurate. It's got like new features and stuff. I don't think they're gonna make any more different wing Gundam variants, something like that. Like you're talking about something that's more TV accurate as a RG kit. I don't think so. No. Are you going to build the MG Jin? I'm thinking of getting it. Yes, definitely. Sure, I'm looking forward to that one. Link on the social media icons where goes to your page for YouTube on the website. Oh. Why is that cockpit hatch not open now once you have that chest piece on there? Is that right? I still don't really get what you guys mean. But anyway, okay. Did I like put this part on here wrong or something? I'm sure not. Oh, in order to open that, you have to like pull it out. Pull it out and then down it'll open like that with once the armor is on there. A little bit seems a little bit hard to do because yeah, you'll definitely have to mess with that a little bit to get that open. It doesn't just fold open straight away. You have to somehow like pull it out and down. Yeah, a little bit easier said than done on that. All right. Anyway, now we get to the chest parts that I was talking about. I'm gonna have to be very careful that I'm using the correct parts. So, all right. Not that one. Not that one. This one. And this one. So, excuse me for a minute, guys, whilst I try my best to focus on this. Make sure I put this together correctly. That goes into there, but it's not really held in by much of anything, so that goes in there first, and then this one on here, like that, okay, and that's held in there. And then, that's 6, okay, D. Must be the other one. Like that, okay. And that there. MG Garazulu would be a big hit, yeah, no doubt about that. Oh, that's cool. Is it just me, or does Aquarelius deserve way more subscribers for the great content he provides? Well, thank you, Logan, I appreciate that. I mean, it may just be you, but I don't know. Would you still recommend the Sasbi Verka with some of the recent advances in MG designs? Yeah, totally. Sasbi Verka still holds up. I think, you know, it's debatable whether which one you'd want to get, the RG or the MG Verka, because I think they're both really good. The RG is really, really great as well, too. And honestly, I had probably more fun with the RG, because the MG looks great and it's huge. But you just can't really do as much with it. With the RG, it's a lot more posable, and so it's a lot more fun to kind of play around with, I think. This is cool. I just want to point this out to you guys. This is for like the thrusters that you got like kind of on the underside of each part of the chest here. When you open this, the little vernier underneath kind of pops out a little bit. So I'm not sure how well you guys can be able to see that. Can you see this? See that vernier pops out just a little bit there when you open up that part. That's pretty cool. Tag properly this time. Do you think the MG Psycho Zaku is worth $100 plus prices? I see it online, thinking about getting it, hesitant on the price. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what the list price was for it, but I think the list price had to be around 9,000 yen. So if it's around $100, a little bit more than $100, then I would say, yeah, it's still pretty close to the list price. But if it's more than like 110, then it's probably too much for that, I guess. But I'm not sure. If the price is kind of getting higher like that, then probably that's just due to it being less available at the moment, because maybe it just hasn't been printed in a while. So I would say, you know, if it's kind of high, then just wait. And that just probably means that it's just due for a reprint. So it'll get a reprint soon enough. Just if you're really itching to build something, I would say just get something else for the time being, and then get that later once it gets a reprint. Don't spend too much money for it. That would be my recommendation. What scriber do you recommend for panel lining? Oh, that depends. There's a lot of them out there, and honestly, from my experience, which is pretty limited, you know, they're all pretty similar. They all do, you know, a fair job of getting the job done. But you know, I haven't had extended use with them. That's the thing, I guess. If you know you're using it a lot, how well is it going to hold up? That would be the issue, I guess. So I couldn't really say, but yeah, I mean the MadWorks ones work well. I've not used the Display ones, but I'm sure they're pretty similar. The scriber that I recently reviewed, the one that is the Mr. Hobby USA Gundam Store branded one, that one was also good too. And I never really was too into that hook type scriber, but it was actually pretty good. It seemed like more useful than I would have imagined. So anyway, just do some research basically. For scribers, there's a lot of different companies making scribers, and I don't think you necessarily need to spend a ton of money on like getting some BMC like Tsujiborido branded ones straight away or something like that. I would look into just getting some other like I said, like the USA Gundam Store one that I reviewed, or like MadWorks Display, something like that. Those will no doubt work more than well enough to get you started. Alright. So yeah, really nice parts on this, I gotta say. So let's see. So yeah, these thruster bits here, so it can move out like that, and when you move that out, that's when that little vernier pops out of the front there, like I was mentioning about. That's pretty awesome. Definitely, it's just a small little kind of simple gimmick, but very nice. Okay, now to do the same thing on the other arm. And it's like that. And that one like that. or not the other arm, other side. We're not to the arms yet. What's a good thinner paint ratio for primer chips? You kind of just have to eyeball it. I mean, yeah. Sorry. You know, Makono Man did a great. I think he did a. I saw his post, and I think he was also doing a video of this. But he did a post, a video. I believe also about this recently that I thought was pretty useful, showing primer like primer ratios, thinner ratios for paint, but the same thing would apply for primer as well too. He did like an experiment doing like a bunch of different ratios and seeing how it would affect, and basically like what he came up with after doing a bunch of experiments was that it really didn't make that much of a difference. The point is you just have to understand the same thing with like a lot of things in the hobby and in life. If you just understand the reason what something is for, then it's easy to understand like kind of how to use it. So like thinner, for example, I mean the ratio doesn't have to be to any certain very particular ratio, because the point is you just want it to make the paint thin enough to be able to work out your airbrush. So yeah, you just have to test it and you'll get an eye for it. I don't measure or anything. Some people do, and you know, if you do measure and you get, you know, better results or good results off that, then, you know, more power to you. I don't measure, and I think I end up doing just fine. So you're just gonna get an eye for it, I guess. And if you got it mixed, primer and thinner, or paint and thinner, whatever, and you go to spray it and it's spraying too thin, add a little bit more paint. If it's spraying too thick, add a little bit more thinner. And you know, it happens to me still sometimes. You know, I'll go to spray something. That's why you spray on something else first, not directly onto the part. So a spoon or just kind of whatever you got lying around, spray on something else first, and you can check, you know, if you need to add a little bit more one way or the other. It's easy enough to do that. The RG Unicorn, CP Stevens said, recently built the RG Unicorn. Guy, hello. Lo Chin Chun. Guy, hello. Hi, hello. I have a few older RG kits with the floppy inner frame. Do you know a good way to prevent the floppy limbs? Yeah, I mean, you could just any kind of paint or glue or spray, anything you can put on there to tighten up the joints. Yeah, you can do that, or adding a little putty. It just kind of depends whether you want to make it. If you're okay with keeping the kit just in one pose forever, you can always just glue some of those parts. Or if you want to be able to like change the poses and stuff, do that. Then there's a lot of things. Basically, anything you can add to the frame to make it so that they're just a little bit tighter is kind of really all there is to it. Yes, when in doubt, just glue it, right? Yes. Arvs asked, were you a fan of the Zeong design previously? I think it's ugly, but I like that it's so different from everything else. Yeah, no, Arvs, yeah, I wasn't a fan. I mean, I get the sentiment of liking it for being different, but I'd never liked the Zeong, actually. But this, I think they've really done a really great job on this kit. I think it does look really cool, this version of the Zeong. I just finished building the MG God Gundam from 2002, and I'm glad Bandai moved on from screws because I shattered a lot of parts. Yeah, and a lot of those old kits as well too. You don't really need the screws in them. The screws kind of just there for like a little bit stronger stability, but you kind of don't really need that. Unlike the last couple of kits that I've built, like older MGs that had screws, I didn't put in the screws and the kit was fine. So, you know, when in doubt. The problem with those screws is that they're just such a pain to get in because they usually don't go in straight away. They're super, super tight. So you got to like put it in halfway and it gets too tight, and then you got to back it out, and you put it in, it goes in a little more, and it gets too tight, and you got to back it out, and you put in a little bit more, and it get a little bit more, and it gets stuck, and you got to back it out. You kind of keep having to do that until you actually get it all the way down, I guess. Try not to have too much of a perverted mind about that, but yeah, and so yeah, they're annoying. The screws are really annoying on older Master Grade kits, so I usually kind of just avoid them if possible. So there's the upper body, or at least the torso, done. And the next part of the build is the skirt, for which there are a lot of pieces. Enjoying the build? It's looking good. Yes, I am. Sure, it is looking good. And the creative juices are flowing because I'm still thinking about doing something cool with this. And you know, I'll tell you guys my idea, but you know, I sometimes don't like to do this because I feel like if I tell you guys my idea about something, that means you're gonna like be expecting it, and people are gonna be asking me about it later, like, hey, whatever happened to, I thought you wanted to do this and this, but you never made it. So you know, don't ask me about it later if you don't see it happening, because I don't know if I'm gonna actually do it or not. But what I want to do is what I think would be cool to do if I can would be to swap out the head for just a Zaku 2 head, and swap out the hands. Probably, I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm for sure about this or not, but I'm thinking also to swap out the hands for just a normal Zaku 2 hands as well too, to make it sort of like a test type kind of Zeong, sort of similar to the Saikomu Zaku. I think would be pretty cool, because yeah, the kit looks awesome and a lot of great design on there, just really not a big fan of that goofy head. But yeah, so I think just swapping a couple parts for some RG Zaku parts I think could be kind of cool, so I don't know. He looks like the robot from the Queen album. Yeah. Thanks for the info, man, but I wish they didn't move on from the large pilot figures. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things about those old Master Grade kits that are great, like the 120 pilot figures. I mean, I really wish that they were still making those, and I don't know why they ever made them in like the softer plastic. Doesn't really make sense. I wish they still made those, and I wish they did not make them ever in that softer type rubbery plastic. But what can you say? Yeah, the Saikomu Zaku was awesome. Yeah, the Saikomu Zaku is a super cool design. I'm really hoping they'll make a kit of that someday, but I think it'd be fun to make a kind of something kind of like between the Saikomu Zaku and the Zeong, kind of like that, where it still has like kind of like Zaku head, but like mostly Zeong body. I think it would be a cool, just kind of simple project to make with this. Would be a lot of fun. Shimjunkyu has thoughts on the build so far. It's very cool. Indeed. Mercy said, didn't like the 120 pilot figures. Oh, yeah, I mean, I can understand they're kind of a pain to work with because of the softer plastic, but I mean, come on. How can you not like that? So yes, a lot of parts here for the skirts, so excuse me a moment while I just kind of get all the parts out here and everything organized. Moving some of the larger parts up out of the way so I can get everything all spread out. Because there's more. And more. And more. Cody asked if I built the HG Zeong. No, I've never built any other version of the Zeong. At times I've been tempted to get the MG Perfect Zeong because it's kind of big and kind of cool. Just being a full-on kit with the legs and everything. I wanted to get one and paint it Ferrari red. Bear King, yeah. That would be kind of cool looking actually. Like the bright glossy red that I recently painted on the Ultraman kit. Which, Sheree, by the way, I've not yet sent that out to you. I'm very sorry. I just keep forgetting that I need to do that. So yes, I promise I'll do that soon. Sorry about that, Sheree. She was kind enough to buy that kit from me, and needed to send that out to her. I haven't done that yet. Anyway, yeah, like that bright, cool red that I painted on that kit. That was a lot of fun to paint. But yeah, doing a cool bright red like that on this kit, yeah, it could definitely look pretty awesome. No doubt. It's great with the legs. Yeah. I think the legs are kind of cool. Yeah, Sheree, it's not so much that shipping is a bitch, which, I mean, it is, but it's just that I just have had a lot of stuff to do recently, kind of getting a lot of kits in, and that I kind of need to do, you know. Yeah, photo shoot. That's kind of the one thing that I need to do too, just before packing up. I did take some photographs of it before, but I'd like to take some more photographs of it to myself here before sending it out. But hey, if you're gonna do that, maybe I can just let you do that. It's gonna be kind of a pain. A lot of parts here. There we go. Need the other version of this one here. King Kong or Godzilla? Definitely Godzilla. Never really been a big King Kong fan. If they ever make a good King Kong movie, then maybe I will be. Ooh. Just never really been that excited for any King Kong stuff. There you go. Yes, and I need to not forget to pay attention for stickers. I like how this part kind of has the general shape of America, doesn't it? You got, you know, Florida, you got East Coast over here, Maine, just kind of flat across the top there on the Canadian border, right? I mean, right? It's close anyway. If I can get those parts in there. That's strange. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm a bit sad because yesterday we got some new banners in Genshin Impact, and I don't pay any money to play Genshin Impact, so keep that in mind. So I think I had 7 or 8. I had like 7 or 8 wishes. I did pulls on the new character banner, and I didn't get anything. I got one Diona. That's it. That's all. Which I already had. So I mean, got her constellation leveled up, but no, nothing new, nothing exciting, unfortunately. So, give some F's in the chat for my Genshin Impact pulls yesterday. Diona is great. I don't know. Is she? Because yeah, I mean, I just don't know. Okay, those of you guys, I mean, who said that? Who said Diona was great? Miguel. Okay, I think I probably need to just watch some more videos on like how to use Diona, because I've had her for a while and I've played with her a little bit, but maybe just like not enough to really kind of get what's so great about her character. Because I think what I've seen is that she's got the shield. The shield doesn't last very long. So I also have Noelle, which has a shield which lasts much longer. And then I've also got sorry, what's her name? Barbara as a healer as well, too. She needs to level up her HP and energy recharge for stronger shields. Ah, okay. So yeah, maybe I just need to level her up some more. Because I've got Barbara and Noelle, or like shields and healing stuff already. I don't have Beidou. No. Beidou. I don't know the correct pronunciation of that, but yeah. See, that's one, first, second, third. It's these clippies. So yeah, I guess I'll play around with Diona a little bit more. I'll watch some YouTube videos or something like that. I need to save up for wishes, but I don't know if Noelle has ever been in banner. Noelle is always in the banner, isn't she? So that's like the permanent banner is Noelle. So I've got a couple. I think I've got Noelle 3 times, maybe 2 or 3, at least twice. Any new games coming out you're looking forward to? Not really. I don't really follow games or anything. The only reason I started playing Genshin Impact because I kept seeing ads for it and it looked really pretty in the ads, so I thought I just wanted to try it out, and then I've been hooked ever since. But I'm not that hooked. I'm not like super into it, but I play when I can. The problem is I just don't really have much time to play anything, so I'll be lucky if I get in like 30 minutes. Like usually I try to at least like before bed make enough time to just get in my daily commissions, basically just do a little and maybe a little bit of exploring. Where's the other piece I'm looking for? Could still be in here. But yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that I've not yet done in the game, and I'm still, you know, like relatively low. I think I'm like adventure rank 43 now. But like some of like the main story missions and stuff, like I'm not yet even done. Hang on. What the? What in the? That seems wrong. Hang on. On these parts, that seems weird or backwards. Why is it showing like that? Oh, okay, it's showing like that. And this one. Great gameplay, but wasn't feeling the grind. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing that I like about it is that the world is so large in it, so it's just a fun game to just explore around, because there's a lot of stuff to find just exploring around the game. So, I mean, if you're not feeling too into the grind, so that's why I've been like enjoying it in a very non-competitive way, very not serious way, because I just like exploring around the world. So that's why I'm kind of like not too seriously into like the developing certain characters or teams, things like that. I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff, just because I'm just more into it for just exploring around the world, playing around the world with different characters and stuff. But you know, when new characters and stuff come out, I do like to try my hand at those. So let's see. That side should be. This one should be like this. Guess that's right. Have you ever built any Kotobukiya Votoms kits? No, I've not. Not actually built any Votoms kits except for the recent little Choipla Votoms kit, which is actually my next video. It is the little quick review of this little guy here. That'll be my next review video, actually. So that'll probably be up later today for you guys. Make perfect Zeong. Let's see. Kenshin's gacha is mega whack. Briano. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Magic Alex. Here you go. I can read that. Hey everyone. Hey. Yeah. I mean, I've heard of people playing Genshin Impact, and like even people who pay as well too, and like spend a decent amount of money, and like they still can't get certain characters that they're trying to get and things like that. Yeah, that sucks. That's why I don't pay any money, because I don't want to have to deal with that. Paying money and then not being able to get what I'm trying to get. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I think I mentioned this before. D-Look, I know, is one that like a lot of people had tried to get, and like even after spending a lot of money still couldn't pull a D-Look. But actually when I got D-Look, I got 2 D-Looks in the same. I did a 10 pull and got 2 D-Looks. That's got to be some sort of miracle. Never to happen. Anyway, on a side note about the hips here, yeah, I can definitely see where the legs could be plugged on to right there. So that's where we're going to be plugging like the main thruster bells in there, but certainly you could plug legs into this part there instead. So very possible for some legs to come out for this later on, I think. Alright, as for these parts here, let's see. That goes like this. Are you as old as 0079? No, I'm not. My issue with Genshin is you don't know what you'll get and can spend thousands of dollars just to get 1 or 2 characters you want. Yeah, totally. That's gambling, basically. Are you excited for a seed full mechanics line? What is your hope for it? Any particular seed? MA, MS? Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that there's going to be too many kits to come out in this new full mechanics line of seed kits. I mean, I think there's maybe going to be a couple, probably like similar enemy type mobile suits. And that's probably going to be about the extent of it. So, I mean, Raider is the black one, right? Not really a fan of that design, and its whole transformation, everything is kind of not to my taste. Forbidden Gundam is the greenish one, right? That one was cool. Abyss, I don't really like that one either. The underwater one, not really a fan. But yeah, I think, right? Is it Forbidden Gundam? Is the green one, right? Do you think we could get an RG Zeong Hell Marine or Galaxy version? You're talking about the Zeong from Build Fighters, Speedball Hero? I doubt it. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think we would ever see that version of the Zeong. Okay, so now we have to cut this wire here. So we move this stuff a little bit, because there's a guide in here for that. For our wire cutting. Should just be able to do this with a knife, or do I need to get some wire cutters? Hang on. Yeah. Curious to see if you know this trick I was taught when I cut my Gundam pieces out the runner. I use my fingernail to apply pressure to the nub mark. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Logan, using your fingernail or thumbnail to get rid of the stress mark on parts. Yes, of course. Cut 85 millimeters. Let's see. I like how when Bandai has you cutting wires or anything like this, they actually put a little ruler there in the manual for you. Very thoughtful. So then how does this work? This goes in this piece here. So we just kind of bend this around. This is a cool detail. I like this. It's a really interesting how they made this. They could have just made like a little red ring of plastic, but it kind of maybe would have been... I'm sure they probably experimented with this, and maybe it was just kind of too easily broken, so that's why they decided to do this instead, using this wire to make that detail. But that's pretty dope. That was some good thinking on Bandai's part. Definitely. You can only see it a little bit in there, it's not that visible, but hey, it looks great. Mark, how's it going there on Facebook? Let's see. Yes, very creative. There we go. Cool. Patrick. Whoa, Patrick, why are you sad? Yeah, it does look very cool, especially from the top. This side of it though is not really going to be seen, unfortunately. But you know, this side will, and you can kind of see that up in there a little bit. So what's next? These parts here. This one and this one, like that. put these together. A lot of really nice mechanical detail here on these parts. Loving that. Going around here like that. Looks very cool. Other one of these is right here. Go. RG line is still young. They need to release the main mecha molds first. RG line is still young. I mean, it's been around for more than 10 years. And yeah, this is only the 34. It's only number 34 in the line, but I mean, so I guess in the number of kits, it's kind of still young-ish, I guess. But you know, it's been around, like I said, it's been around for over 10 years. Not that young. It's no spring chicken. So I'd say it's fair to say that Bandai has the RG line pretty well figured out at this point. And you know, some people lament that they've gotten a little bit away from the insert molding that's hardly used very much with the newer kits. But you know, whatever makes for a better kit, in my opinion. If the kit's good, with or without that, I mean, it's just a gimmick, really, right? So, hey, where's this piece? Can you guys see? Okay, there it is. It was hiding up there. It's about to call on y'all for some help. Deshevster, what's going on, man? You're not too late. Still plenty of kit left to build here, no doubt. So rather than legs, here's where your main thrusters go. So those can move a little bit in here. They're definitely a little bit limited. Kind of drop that down a little bit there, Alec, I guess. Oh yeah, they can actually drop down slightly and pop out. So you got interesting little bit of articulation there. Yeah, not a whole lot of range movement for those. Pretty tight quarters up in there. Where is the RG Ava provisional unit 05? I don't know. What's a good site for Gunpla news? Bandai's Twitter is probably the best. That's where stuff goes first, and then it gets, you know, sent out to everywhere else. But aside from Bandai Twitter, what's that? Gundam Kits collection? It's probably a good one. They're pretty quick to get stuff updated when news comes out. Gundam Kits collection, or I mean just different Facebook pages. I usually follow that stuff pretty quick. Give a shout out to my man Ricardo. It's pretty quick. Silver Gunpla? Sorry, Ricardo. I think he changed it or something. Or I get confused because with his Twitter or with his Instagram handles different. Silver Maverick, I think, right? But on Facebook it's different. Ricardo, are you here? He sometimes watches, but I don't think he's here at the moment. What is it on Facebook? You all know what I'm talking about. Silver. What is it? Now I'm searching. Now I can't find it. Can someone tell me in the chat? No, you guys are no use. Bah. Didn't he say he was deleting his socials? Oh, did he? Oh, I may have missed that. That could be why I'm not finding it. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Not seeing him on Instagram either. Okay. Maybe, yeah, okay, well, never mind. Maybe he deleted that stuff, and maybe that's why he's not here either. Bye, Space Rat. Okay, so there's front sections of skirt, and these you can pop out like that. So you got some nice, these are on like ball joints, but also kind of hinged up in there as well too. Love all that nice detail up underneath the hood. Very nice. Hi from Korea. Kyungbin. Hi, also from Korea. 안녕하세요. 저도 한국에 살아요. Your channel is still my go-to main. Bye everyone, take care. Oh, are you off, Cherie? If so, bye-bye. What's a Gundam series you would recommend, Blue? Yeah, it depends on what you like. I would say 8th MS Team, but I mean, who knows if you like that or not. It's kind of hard to say. We have 5 of these to build. 8th MS Team is good. I don't know, maybe... You know, if you're more of like a... If you're more of an anime fan that's kind of into like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or I don't know, stuff like that, then you might like some of the other series. Probably more like 00 or Build Fighters. Some more of that kind of stuff. Unicorn is great, but if you're just getting started into Gundam, it might be kind of, you might be kind of lost as to kind of what's going on at some points without having any kind of background information, knowledge of just the Gundam UC era in general. So in a perfect world, I would say start by watching the very first Gundam series and just kind of make your way through it, I guess. But you know, it depends on how much time you really want to invest. Do you like It's Dynamite? Check it out. Do you like It's Dynamite? What's It's Dynamite? You're talking about like the BTS song? My kids like that song. I hate it because it gets so easily stuck in your head. Not because it's a good song, because I think it's engineered in a lab to be like the perfect song to get stuck in people's heads. Yeah, no, not a BTS fan by any means. So we got 5 of these guys. 5 guys. Burgers and fries. I showed that to my kids recently. I tried to expose them to some good music. I showed them the Five Guys Burgers and Fries songified version, the damn 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 song. Now that's real music. That was fun. My son was talking about wanting a burger. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Do you know for the last shooting Zeong if you can already have the RX-782 built, or should I wait until you get? I think you can probably already have it built. You probably only need to take a couple of things apart in order to make that. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. In order to just basically change a couple parts, I think, like in the shoulder joint for the arm, and then like for the head. Shouldn't be too hard to make that. Classic song, yes. Indeed. Truly a classic. Do you like the Strike Freedom Gundam full burst mode kits? I've never built that kit, but Strike Freedom in general is fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't know. It's okay. I honestly like the Amazing Strike Freedom HG. I liked probably the most of any different kind of Strike Freedom related thing that I've ever built. There's all of that, and here's where your action base is going to plug into there on the back skirt. I'll put that on upside down. There you go. Cover that up. Then this one should go on here first. What if RG EA Unit 2 plus 8? RG, are you talking about Ava? RG Ava Unit 2 plus 8? I'm not sure. Do you know Mr. Beast? I've seen a couple of Mr. Beast videos. I don't usually watch, though. I'm not like an avid Mr. Beast viewer. I've seen a couple of videos, that's all. For someone that's never watched a Gundam series, what would you recommend to start with? We were just talking about that. I would recommend starting with the very first Gundam series if possible. But I mean, just check out the other different Gundam series. See which would be, because there's quite a wide range. It's just really hard to answer that, just depending on your own personal taste. Just check out some kind of general information about the different Gundam series. If you like the more realistic side, or if you like the more kind of retro anime side, or if you like the more kind of super robot side, it just depends, because they've got kind of something for everyone amongst all the different series. So just kind of just check out some like basic information about some of the different series, and see which would be like best suited for what you would be interested in. Why is that not fitting flush on there? Because that's not plugged in. There we go. Man, love that detail. Look at that. All the detail on there, and all the little bits of under frame detail poking out on there. And Bandai did it. They did it. Managed to make the Zeong awesome. They made the Zeong great again. That's something we can all get behind. So, with that part done, just have these side skirt bits left. And these go on here. I'm not sure if this is the right side. I think this one. Pop that on there. Endless Waltz top tier. Endless Waltz is good, yeah. Endless Waltz is much, in my opinion, Endless Waltz is better than the main series of Gundam Wing. But I feel like without watching the main series first, you kind of can't really enjoy Endless Waltz as much. Like without the backstory of what's going on, you just kind of would be lost as to what's going on. Florida 305, shout out. Happy building, thank you. If you could have any MS as RG, what would you want? If I could have anything as an RG, what would make a cool RG? Alright, here it is. You got the front half and the back half. Just plug together like that. You got your heart on the bottom side. Look at that, it's adorable. Look at all that detail. It's amazing, as my man Jesse Lee Waters would say. Jesse Lee Peterson. What's Jesse Lee Waters? Jesse Lee Peterson. Amazing. Plug that together. And there we go. Ooh, it's getting big and very hefty. Ready to just zoom along like this. Whoo! Like a little hover tank. There you go. Just started watching. What have I missed? Well, James, you've missed everything but the arms so far. Basically, we just have the arms left to build. Heart for Valentine's Day, exactly. Arms, and that's pretty much it, yeah. Oh. The double Zeta would be a great RG. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't do anything. I mean, it could be cool. If there's one thing that I've learned from the RG line over the years is that they can kind of make anything cool with the RG line. So, yeah, I'm sure just kind of whatever they make, it'll be cool. Did you buy the last shooting effects set? No, Junkyu, I didn't. RG Hyakushiki? Yeah, that would be cool. RG Heavy Arms Custom? Not really. I mean, like, other RG wings, other wingsuits made for really great master grades, but I don't know if I'd really want them as RG, because RG, they kind of tend to up the detail, especially because the master grade wing kits aren't super detailed, and so that's why some people, I got a lot of comments recently when I reviewed a couple of master grade wing kits. A lot of people were saying that they liked the Supernova versions better because they were more detailed, but it just depends on the person. Because me personally, I like Bandai's versions more. They're a little bit less detailed and like don't have like as much Gemini. Gemini is just reading the chat there, as much accessories and stuff like compared to the Supernova versions. Like, depending on the kit, but they come with like more stuff. But I just like the look of Bandai's versions of the master grade wing kits better, the heavy arms and Shenlong, etc. So yeah, more detail is not always better, and I feel like if they made those as RG kits, they would up the detail of them. And I just don't really think. I mean, it works for the Wing Zero. The RG Wing Zero that they made, but I just don't really know if I would like that look as much for all the other kits as well too, all the other designs in the line. So I wouldn't necessarily want that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'd say the RG Death Scythe or Hell Custom would be a safer bet. I mean, yeah, that would be more likely as to what it would be if they do any of those. Wonder if they still have a license for Big O merch. For like see Big O. Yeah, Big O would be a cool RG, no doubt. I have to wonder if kind of the reason why they've only ever made like the one Big O kit, and they haven't remade it, haven't done any reprint of that old Big O kit in forever, as far as I know. I have no idea when was the last time they ever did another run of that. But yeah, it could be licensing issue or what, I don't know. I would imagine that's not that big of a deal though, because it's not like a, I guess it depends on what company owns it. I don't know, but it's not like that big of an anime. Let's see, so there is very specifically a correct way to put this on there. There we go. Yeah, not a MG. I'm pretty sure it's not an MG technically. The O kit. I think it might actually be HG. Either that or it's just non-grade in general. But it's not MG as far as I know, as far as I can remember. But yes, I would agree. Like that. I like Supernova Wing because the price, got no access to P Bandai. Well, I mean, that's something, I suppose. Use an RG Epion? Yeah. That could work. It's more of a detailed design. And even the MG kit is pretty detailed. Let's see. So obviously, this is the shoulder section that I'm building now. So you got a little bit of articulation there with that part moving like that. Pretty cool. And then I have to build the upper arm and then the hand. So it's kind of funny how you build. A lot of times like the arms, especially on high grades, we'll start like building the elbow joint first and then you kind of build it out from there. This one you build the forearm, then the shoulder, then the upper arm, then the hand. It's kind of all over the place. Alright, but where is that? I'm not seeing the... Oh. Because that's like that. There we go. Hey, what's going on, Tim? Do you ever crack open a 6-pack of beer while working on a model? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have at times. Not recently, though. I don't know. Recently, I've just not really... had a couple of beers recently, and I don't know, just kind of not been in the mood to drink beer lately. It's kind of weird. I don't know. So no, not really. But yeah, I've occasionally just drank some beer while streaming. doing other different videos or streaming something in the past, if you guys have been around for a while, you've certainly seen me drink a beer every now and then, but no, yeah, not recently. And Tim, by the way, have you got your package yet? Should be arriving there pretty soon, I would imagine. I haven't checked the tracking on it or anything, but I'd have to imagine it's not too far away. After the kids are in bed, I have one or two of pulling model kits together. I mean, yeah. Totally. Yes, Edward, I remember you. You don't have to ask that every time. Pretty sure that Sunrise created the Big O and has the rights to it. The Big O wasn't popular enough in Japan to continue to make merchandise for it. Tsunami had to help get a second season made. Yeah. Canada Post is working at the speed of molasses these days. Ah, well, yes, there you go. Still, should be there pretty soon, I'd imagine, so let me know, of course. There's that. Oof, that was lucky. Just slapped those pieces on, but I managed to put them on the correct front and back side. Didn't notice there was a front and a back. And this one has a locking mechanism. Put that on and turn that 90 degrees to lock it into place. Press the like button now to lock in your answer. I'm very certain I missed a couple of stickers probably that go on these parts, but oops. Oh well. Let me see. Did I? Maybe. Last couple pieces here for this arm. One right there. Cool, he has some kind of exposed piston sections here. Nicely detailed arm. For the fingers, we have to pull out these little bits on the ends of the fingers. Can't really do it. There we go. Let's bend those and turn it around, To which way? Like this. On your critique of builds, can I submit them on just Facebook, or is there some specific site? David, that's part of my Patreon rewards. So you submit them by email, but you have to be a Patreon supporter. The information is on my Patreon page if you're so inclined. Like that. Not a fan of the fact that they made the fingers insert molded. I mean, I guess it was the best way to get them looking their best, because otherwise, I mean, if they had individual parts, so just like individual little light blue parts for these, yeah, they wouldn't have, it would have been a real pain. But painting these is just gonna be even worse because of that. How do you love this new Zeong? I love it. I can't get enough of it. I just got into Gunpla with no knowledge of the show. I think Gun Cannon is the coolest model. Well, there you go, Sonic. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a fan of the show or know anything about it. You can just build some stuff, whatever looks cool to you. It's certainly possible. Now, is that supposed to pop on? There we go. There we go. One arm on. Let's just build up this other arm. This is 1/44 scale, right? Yes, this is 1/44 scale. Nice Willy Wonka recreation there. What did I do? Willy Wonka recreation? Did I make a Willy Wonka reference? I didn't get it. Fingers are supposed to each be beam cannons, so they're not meant to hold weapons. Yes, right. They're not meant to hold weapons. Yeah, surely. Thinking to buy the RG Zeong just because the unique design, it seems fun to build. Yes, it's a unique design and it is pretty fun to build. How many P-Bandai releases do you think they'll do of the Zeong besides the Perfect? That's probably all. I can't imagine they'll do anything else other than the Perfect of this. White Rungar, how's your day? My day is going pretty good, building a cool kit, so can't complain about that. Just finished up the RG Sword Impulse, so nice. Yeah. I think if I ever get any version of the RG Impulse, I think I would go for the sword one, probably. Oh, the monotone. No, stop, don't do it. Oh. Yes, that is a Willy Wonka thing, isn't it? Yes, I get it. Yeah, it was not intentional, but I get what you mean. Speaking of, where is it? Speaking of classic movies, last night, whilst doing some work, I was watching, or kind of more so listening to while I was working on a kit, but was watching Jason and the Argonauts, a classic. I like those kind of old movies like that. Certainly not as big of like a hit or as well known as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, of course, but. Or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Anyway, yeah. Certainly not on the same level, but an enjoyable one. I like it. I like that movie. Gotta love the stop motion on that one. Yeah, of course. The old Harryhausen stuff. Classic. More Blazing Saddles guy? Of course, yeah. I mean, Blazing Saddles. Of course. I'm right there with you on that. Blazing Saddles, also a classic. Hear me out, RG Camphor? I mean, yeah, Camphor would be pretty cool as an RG. It's got like a relatively complicated design, I think would fit to the RG style, I think, yeah. Is there a regular Zeong version? Paulo, I'm not sure what you mean. Regular Zeong version. This is the regular version. If you mean like the version without all the effect parts and everything, that's what I'm building. I didn't opt for the effect parts version. The Vanilla Queen there with a very confident, yes, there is going to be an RG Perfect Zeong, both expansion and combined set. I haven't heard any confirmation about that for sure from Bandai. I mean, it's pretty easy to guess that that's probably going to be the case, but I won't believe it till I see it with my own eyes. If they actually do say that they're actually going to make one, then cool, but till then, I feel like eating some good bread for lunch. Y'all know like that if you've ever been to Japan, you probably know like about the Japanese bakeries, or if you just like watch videos on YouTube about Japanese culture and stuff, you probably have heard about the Japanese bakeries and things, how they have like lots of different sweet bread and things like that. It's very much similar here in Korea. So we got some like good sweet and non-sweet stuff as well too, but got some good bread here, and there's just a bakery not just around the corner, around the block from here. I might just go grab something from the bakery for lunch, because that's sounding kind of good at the moment. Just feel bad. Recently my wife is on a diet, so I kind of feel bad anytime I'm like eating something like that around her. I try not to do it like around her. Just try not to make her feel bad eating something like that I know that she would like to have as well too. Trying to be considerate, some nice San Francisco sourdough. Yeah. Something like that. I mean, like just based on the name of that, that sounds like that's a joke. You know what I mean? Like when you say San Francisco sourdough, that sounds like it's not actually bread, but it's like a reference to something. You know what I mean? A little bit longer one there on the back, a little bit shorter one here on the front. These ones here on the side. This one here pointed down, right? Yes. Bodine, great clam chowder in sourdough bread bowls. I mean, y'all know I love that bread bowls. That is something that actually does. I forgot to put this on there. Damn it. I had to take like all these parts off after putting like 15 parts on here. But that is something that you can't actually get here. I mean, like there's some like a little bit less common stuff like that is kind of like hit or miss whether that's like available here in Korea or not. But bread bowls are something that a lot of places do have, fortunately. If they're like, usually it's in like Italian food places. I mean, I don't know if there's really how Italian bread bowls are, but different places with like if they have pasta, steak, pilaf, risotto, that kind of stuff. Usually restaurants will have Italian restaurants. That'll be the thing. They'll have salad, pasta, steak, risotto, pilaf. I don't know what else. Anyway, and Red Bull, usually. They'll have that as well, too. That's usually the lineup of Italian food at an Italian-style place. Don't worry, nothing broken. Except my ego. Once again, failing to follow the instructions. So I was putting that together and like putting these pieces on the top and thinking like, it seemed like when I did on the other arm there was something more on the top of there and it felt a bit weird. I did notice that. But it was like, okay, whatever, anyway. Just keep putting parts on there. I should have paid attention. So, that's a wrap. Basically all we have left, I just had to put the base together. So it does come with a base, even the non-DX version. But there you have it. Let me go ahead and do that here real quick. Llama G, I wouldn't say the RG RX-78 kit sucks ass. I wouldn't say that. Because I would just be scared the RG would come after me, you know. He's scary. No. No, I think it gets a bad rap. I mean, like, it's not the best RG out there, but I don't think it's that bad by any means. Ethel, are you also on Twitch? Yes, I'm live on Twitch as well, too. So if you prefer to watch on Twitch, there's less of a delay there with the chat. Otherwise, I mean, there's not anything too special about it or anything. But yeah, I'm also on Twitch. It gets me every time. I do like that the base is gray and not black. It's a small thing, but I don't know, I just like that it's different. You know what I mean? Those parts are basically the same, right? Yeah. So that goes through there. This one right here. This one here. Oh! Was so sad. RG High New is a must. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that RG High New. And then this one, and this one, and we're gonna do this. Pop that on there like that. Pop that on here like that. Ouch. Give myself a little paper cut with the manual. Swishing the manual around. There's that. Got a couple of these little options not really going to be needed. Like that. These little arms for the base don't tend to be very strong, so as long as they can hold up the hands, they don't really have a big job to do necessarily with this kit, but hopefully they can stand the weight well enough just to hold the hands up. I imagine the wire connected to the hands is not that strong. It probably does, you know, take some of the brunt of the weight a little bit, but probably not all that much. So yeah, the action base can be plugged into the bottom side or into the back, which is pretty cool. The back of the skirt or underneath the skirt. So it's always nice to have options. I'm gonna do this for the time being. I'm gonna plug this on the underside, and that'll go onto here. Sorry, I know it's like right. I know. Give me a second. I know that it's right in front of the camera there. Adjust the angle on that. There we have it. All right, get this over here so you guys can see a little bit better. A little bit higher. There you go. There you have it. Very cool. And let's see, just right about 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. There you go. See, Dianjo at the start put his bet in at 3 hours, and I said, I don't think it's gonna take that long. And Dianjo, pay up. I was right. It only took 2 hours. No, he already paid with a super chat. There you go. Adjust the focus there for you guys a little bit. Hopefully that's in focus now. But there you go. Yeah, very cool, man. And I mean, like, just what you can see on the outside looks great, but it's really like the armor separation gimmicks and everything that are really amazing about this kit, I think. So obviously I'll go through all that in the review, but I mean, just everything all popping out everywhere. Tiancho, I didn't know if you were still here or not. I was just joking, of course, but I appreciate that. That's funny. I didn't think you were still here. Anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I wasn't necessarily racing the clock with that in mind, but yeah, and I mean, like I said, I knew that just based on, I mean, I guess I've done this enough. I should have a pretty good sense of, you know, how long things are going to take me. But just based off of like the parts and everything, there's a lot of parts there. But just the fact of not having to build legs, I mean, there's a lot of parts in the skirt, but it all kind of goes together, you know, pretty effortlessly. So yeah, very cool. Should we test it out just while we're here? Let's just test out the hands, see how well they hold up. See how well the wire holds them up while we're here. So take that off. Take that off. The wire plugs down into there. Interestingly, the manual doesn't actually show you to plug in the wire. Yeah, the wire is pretty sturdy, so I don't think we're gonna have too much of an issue. The wire will be taking a good amount of the weight, I think. So the stand, even though the stand is pretty weak for the arm, should hold it just fine, kind of. Problem is the wire is very long, so I think you probably would want to cut it down a little bit. But there you go. You guys can get the idea. Yeah, I mean, it holds it up fine. You have to kind of mess with the arm, mess with the wire a little bit to kind of get that to be looking proper. But just without doing that, you guys can get the sense of that anyway. So yeah, it works fine. This base is pretty weak, but the hand's not that heavy, and the wire is pretty strong. So there you go. Why not the last shooting set version? Is it just harder to get? No, it's not harder to get. I could have got it. I just wasn't that interested in it. It just has all the effect parts, which I'm not going to use. and the RX-78 parts, which I'm not going to use, so just didn't really care to get that version of the kit. That version is a first, just another reminder for any of you guys, if you're unaware, that version of the kit is a first run only, so they're only making it just this once. So if you do want to get that, you're not going to be able to get it later for anywhere near a reasonable price. So if you want it, get it now. Don't wait. Burnstick Man was late again. Oh, sorry, Burnstick Man. But yeah, there you have it. Pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Tomorrow, a reminder, I'll be live again, continuing work on the Dachshund. I was gonna just flash the manual for you guys, but I just kind of have it all put away. Continue to work on the Maschinen Krieger Dachshund tomorrow, and Lincoln's gonna be joining me at some point. Lincoln Wright, Mr. Maschinen Krieger himself. We'll be hanging out at some point during the live stream tomorrow too, while we're just working on the Dachshund a little bit. So come and watch that, hang out if you're interested in Maschinen Krieger, if you're a fan or just kind of have been seeing them around and want to see a little bit more about what those kits are all about, then check out the live stream again tomorrow. Check out the one from 2 days ago if you missed that. Ricky B, not necessarily a collab. I mean, I just invited him to just call in and just hang out, so nothing really too much that we're collabing on that, just hanging out. Just two guys and we're having a good time. A little callback to that was even pre-Lonely Island. I don't even think they were doing, like, Lonely Island wasn't a thing at that time. It was just a Saturday Night Live skit. Just two guys. Just two guys? Yeah, it's just two guys, right? Yeah. Classic. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday already. I know. Crazy. Tomorrow's Friday already. Anyway, so yeah, all right, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you again so much for hanging out. Again, check out the kit at USA Gundam Store. They don't have them at the USA Gundam Store yet. I didn't get this. You know, it's not like they got them in and they sent me mine first. No, they don't have them. Those have not arrived at USA Gundam Store yet, but I'm sure they're probably due to arrive there very soon. So check it out. Okay. Just checking the chat if there's anything else still right towards the end here that I need to see, but I think that's about it. So, all right. Chris Bullis, you just got here. Well, yep, done. Sorry, you can watch the playback. All right, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll see you live tomorrow for the live stream continuing on with the Dachshund.